Welcome to the Horse Talk Show. Have you ever seen a horse who could talk? With your host, Louisa Barton, who really wants to be a famous rider. She really loves to ride fast. Presented by Peterson and Smith Equine Hospital and Complete Care.
Truth is, I have horses with people problems.
Now here's the Brit on the bit, Louisa Barton. Enjoy the show.
Looking for hay that's a cut above the rest? From field to feeder, Larson Hay delivers top quality, nutrient-packed hay your horses and livestock will love. And with the Larson family leading the way, you know every bale is made with integrity and care. Larson Hay weighs every bale so you can be confident that you're getting what you're paying for. No gimmicks and no small print, just the best hay you could ever feed your horses. Don't settle for just any bale, choose the cream of the crop since 1883. Visit larsonhay.com today, Idaho's finest alfalfa. The Horse Talk Show broadcasts from the CEP's Equine Studios in downtown Ocala in the horse capital. Thank you for joining us on the Horse Talk Show this week, presented by Peterson Smith Equine Hospital and Complete Care. Thank you to Larson Farms, they're our television broadcast sponsor.
Idaho's finest alfalfa.
I'm Louisa Barton.
I'm Dancin Pete Rodda.
And we have got a phenomenal lineup for you for the show today. We hope you enjoy our wonderful guests. We will have Dr. Adam Cayot with us, and he is going to be talking about skin issues, and our flies have returned, so those are just around the corner. And what's new in the fencing world with the GOAT, the greatest of all time,
Tommy
fencing man.
the Fence Turner.
Yes, and we have some wonderful guests we haven't had in the studio before from Misty Morning Hounds, who are going to talk about fox hunting, fun stuff, and then tips to be a trainer with Megan from MV Equestrian. But we're going to kick it off with some news and events, as always. Listen, this is going to be a wonderful opportunity. Thank you so much to Tri Eagle, who reached out to me a few weeks ago and wanted to have a meeting, and I went and had a meeting with them, and they wanted to make a personal invitation to the only chamber in the world that has an equine initiative presented by Piranha as an invite to come and have a personal, up-close, one-on-one with the Budweiser Clydesdales at World Equestrian Centre. And it doesn't get much better than that, does it? So our group is going to meet. So if you are a CEP partner, you can register online at ocalacep.com, and you can come along and join us
And make
on
sure you
March
put
the 12th.
Make sure you put the dates down, because this isn't our usual meeting.
Right.
So March 12th, 11 a.m. to 1 p.m.
And that's at Barn X at World Equestrian Centre. So jump on there, CEP partners, and get yourselves registered to meet the Budweiser Clydesdales. It should be wonderful. A quick mention, because we are in the time of year when breeding is definitely on those of us that own horses and do that, and it's definitely top of the mind right now. And Peterson Smith Equine Hospital and Complete Care is the only place in Florida that has an on-site lab for Equigea, which is at their Advanced Facility Center in Summerfield, and that is an incredible. If you haven't seen it, check out our video on our meeting with Dr. Melissa Prell. It was really incredible how the Equigea works, so Google that and find out more. As you all know, we have been following Florida beach horses for a while. They've been through quite a bit in the past 6 months or so. Terrible trailer accident through no fault of their own. Of course, they were hit very hard by the hurricanes. Then they lost Dear Sweet Cloud, the mare of theirs that went missing and was found deceased. And we have been busily sharing all their information because we really want to help them get going again. And they are definitely back up and running with their beach rides. And they now have keychains for Cloud that you can buy online.
$15 plus shipping.
$15, yeah. And you can get a Cloud. It's kind of a nice way to remember Cloud, sweet mare that she was. They do rescue horses, by the way, for this wonderful job. And these horses absolutely love going in the sea, and everybody that goes and rides with them has a wonderful time. And they have now added back their moonlight rides. They do not have moonlight rides every day, so you do have to schedule this ahead of time. But they do the moonlight rides as well, and they have those back up and running as well. So Florida beach horses in Mayaca City, they will take you out to the beach and you will swim on horses, and it is a beautiful experience. And you can order your Cloud keychain, and they'll have mugs for Cloud soon as well.
Are these seahorses?
They're seahorses.
There you go.
Well said. They are. And they have wonderfully trained horses, and the people that go out riding have just an amazing experience. So shout out for them and check them out. You can find them on social media. This is going to be a very educational experience. Florida Farrier Service in Oxford are going to have their, they have an equine education facility now where you can actually learn everything you need to know about being a farrier. And Shoeing for Performance is the topic for Saturday, March 8th, and that is from 9 to 4 p.m. And this is for horse owners. So this is kind of to learn everything that you need to know about how to remove a shoe.
That's very important.
Yes, exactly. Laminitis. Kylie and I will actually be there. We're going to film some of this. Frosty, my pony's actually going down there to stay for a couple of weeks. And they're also going to talk about things like abscess care, everything you need to know about digital pulse. It's going to be a number of different teachers that are teaching this course, but I think it's going to be very educational. It's only $75, including breakfast and lunch. So that's a pretty good deal to learn everything they can teach you. So check that out at Florida Farrier Service and get signed up. Hey, Horse Talk Show went to the dogs a couple of years ago.
Yes.
And so did Live Oak International. They jumped right on board. And this is an event that's been going on for, my gosh, what, nearly 40 years or something. And now they've added Ocala Dog Ranch to their list of exciting things. And if you go on Live Oak International's website, right beside the Budweiser Clydesdales, who are visiting Live Oak International this year, you see the dogs. Because Ocala Dog Ranch is going to have their mobile dock diving going on during Live Oak International.
March 13th through the 16th.
That's right. And if you get signed up to do the dock diving with your dog before March the 7th,
you get a free entry.
Get a free ticket into Live Oak International. So it's time to get signed up. But I think that's exciting that this, after all the years that Live Oak International has been going on and all the variety of amazing things that happen, from vendors to show jumping to combined driving, they're now adding the dogs to that, and you can't go wrong. So Sean McCarthy, wonderful equine dentist, he's my exclusive equine dentist, is only in town for a couple more weeks before he leaves for the summer, where he is very busy up north. So if you would like to grab a quick appointment with him before he leaves, this man is so kind to horses when he works with them and so patient, gives them so many breaks, and actually has dealt with some things that were left untended to incorrectly by others prior to him. So he is absolutely wonderful, Sean McCarthy, and you can find him at mccarthyequine.com and get booked in the next couple of weeks because he won't be back until the end of the summer. We've talked a little bit, just want to mention this again briefly, decoupling. It's a big deal in the racing world, horse racing world.
Taking racing and the gambling and taking them apart, which is not good for the industry.
No, it's not. It could have a very detrimental effect on Marion County. So many of the horses here that we even see in the starting gate of the Kentucky Derby and the Breeders' Cup were trained right here. This is the training grounds of champions, and we certainly don't want to see the sport decoupled. So there is a petition online you can sign, or you can reach out to your lawmakers in your area. And
I was going to add to this too, because people don't realize a lot of Kentucky horses come down here for the winter. A lot of that will go away if this happens.
Absolutely, huge. And the thoroughbred world here is massive, so that's very important. We have got to wrap up this segment. We have a lot more for you coming back after the break, and we will have Dr. Adam Cayot talking about skin issues, followed up by the Larson Hay Appreciation Day recap. So stay with us. We'll be right back. Smith Equine Hospital and Complete Care, and our television broadcast sponsor is Larson Farms. Also, thank you to our supporting sponsors, DAC Vitamins and Minerals, Seminole Feed Stores, Piranha Animal Health, Pat Myers Electric, Florida HVAC Services, Ocala Dog Ranch, Wide Automotive, and Reach Video Production. This show is brought to you in part by DAC Vitamins and Minerals of Florida. All horses need a solid immune system, excellent joint support, a healthy gut, and DAC has all the vitamins and minerals they need with the NASC stamp of approval. So like them on Facebook now or go to feeddac.com. DAC, it makes a world of difference. Looking for high-quality fencing solutions? Equifence of Florida delivers security, functionality, and style to enhance your property's value. Specializing in agricultural, horse, residential, and commercial fencing, plus land clearing, grading, and more. With top-notch craftsmanship, innovative design, and exceptional customer service, Equifence is your trusted partner. Whether it's for business or home, we've got you covered. Equifence of Florida, where design makes all the difference. Call today. Equine Therapy International offers state-of-the-art equipment to enhance your horse's performance, fitness, strength, and rehabilitation with hand-picked and proven range of products, including PEMF and massage therapy rugs, leg wraps, boots, pads, and lasers. Equine water treadmills, cold salt water spas, combi floors, dry treadmills, solariums, nebulizers, and more. For more information, go to equinetherapyint.com or find them on social media. Repair, perform, and recover with Equine Therapy International. At Florida HVAC Services, air conditioning is a mathematical process. There's no guessing in what size unit your home needs. Florida HVAC Services uses manual J-heat load calculations in diagnosing to guarantee your home is sized properly to control humidity and temperature, thus providing comfort all year round. With flat rate pricing, trained experts, and total peace of mind. For more information, go to flhvacservices.com. They are the air you breathe. The Horse Talk Show broadcasts from the CEP's Equine Studios in downtown Ocala in the horse capital.
Hi, this is Hall of Fame jockey Mike Smith. You're listening to the Horse Talk Show.
Lisa Martin here with the Horse Talk Show, and Dr. Adam Cayot is here with us from Peterson Smith Equine Hospital and Complete Care. And since we're coming into the hotter months, thankfully we're still having some very nice weather, Dr. Cayot, but we are headed towards the summer, and we are heading towards bugs, of course, and skin issues in horses tend to be prevalent at that time of year, and I think Florida certainly gets its big dose of that at this time. So, Dr. Cayot, tell us about some of the skin things that people are going to start seeing and how we can address those.
Well, the main thing that you start seeing this time of year is just a dermatitis, just an inflammation of the skin. Your horse starts to itch, they'll itch, and then they'll scratch. A lot of times, typically they'll scratch on their face, their ears, they scratch their mane. A lot of times they'll rub their tails, and a lot of times they'll rub their underbelly. They'll lay down actually and try to scoot across the ground. Most of the time, 99.9% of the time, that's due to allergens. The one thing we get down here are the little black flies, the little coulicoides, the no-see-ums we call them. And so,
what did you call them?
No-see-ums.
No, before that.
Coulicoides.
I never heard them called that before.
Yep, that's the scientific name for them. But we call them no-see-ums because you don't see them, and they bite. They're little biting midges kind of things, and so they come out at night typically, and they'll bite horses on their chest, on their midline, get in their ears, and that sort of thing. And they tend to the allergic response is an itch to it. So a lot of times, what we suggest for those people is to put them in a stall at night and turn a fan on them, because the little flies have a hard time flying when the wind's blowing, so they have a harder time dealing with that. So that's a strategy. Certainly steroids and like Zyrtec will help you with that. A lot of times I'll start with Zyrtec. Antihistamine, that was the word I was trying to come up with. Antihistamine like Zyrtec will help. A lot of times I'll start with that, and then if that doesn't seem to be knocking it out, then we typically put them on a steroid. We have a pretty good program now where we can test them for allergies and develop an injection process that's it helps. It definitely helps. So we pull blood on the horse, and they look at everything. Basically, gives everything that they're allergic to. You'd be amazed at how many horses are allergic to like oats and grasses that they eat, like they're eating, and stuff that are in their environment, like cockroach feces and things like that you can't get rid of in a barn, And so it'll come up with all these things, and then then they devised this shot protocol, so an injection protocol where they're slowly introducing those allergens to the horse's system so that they improve their response, and their response isn't as drastic, so you get less itching, you get less discomfort, and you get less irritation. So
kind of like you do for people, so you actually kind of really know.
Basically, it's allergy shots, right? Exactly.
And then also, if it's something that's avoidable, you know, if it is a hay or a feed, then,
yep.
right.
I mean, there's so many that have been you know, allergic to like flax and flaxseed, and they're getting fed that, and you know, all this stuff. So you'd be kind of surprised, but my point is that typically when you see that reaction in the summer months, it's due to insects, but it can be other things. It can be other environmental things. Certainly molds that are in the air, fungi that are in the air here in a subtropical climate. You're going to have all that stuff, and pollens and things like that. So allergies are allergies. You can't get rid of them. You're always going to have some response. You just try to mitigate how severe the response is. I mean, some of these horses become miserable. They'll self-mutilate because they're scratching so hard that they'll actually have wounds on on their skin. So speaking
Flynn
of
actually
insects,
has trees that he has a major rub fast on. Yes.
So yeah, they'll find anything to scratch on, you know, trees and logs that are down and fence boards. You know, you'll see them out there breaking your fence board, scratching their butt against it, you know.
Yes.
So yeah, it can be a real problem, real expense. So you try to control that as best you can.
And then you do steroids as well for some.
Yeah, typically if it's not, you know, if the antihistamines aren't doing the trick, then we'll add steroids. And unfortunately, they have to be on it typically throughout the hot months of the year. You try to get them on as low a dose as keeps them comfortable, so that varies per horse. Obviously there are some side effects with steroids, but typically if you're diligent and careful with it, the side effects aren't as bad as them, you know, scratching their ears off.
And the Zyrtec is just, you get the people version, or,
yep,
or one
just
of
get
those,
the people's version. Yep, just over the counter stuff. Basically it's 1 pill per 100 pounds once a day.
Okay, so Flynn gets a lot.
Yeah.
It's a big chunky monkey. And then some other real basic things that you can do. I got a Fly Master fly spray system from Piranha, which definitely helps. Obviously using fly spray helps. Someone's feeling good. And then of course fly masks and fly blankets, you know, definitely will help. You know, mitigate some of that as well. So there's some basic things you can do, but definitely start with your veterinarian and maybe get that blood work done so you can kind of find out what those things are.
Yep, it helps.
Environment is big.
It's
I
huge.
didn't know about that. That's wonderful.
Yeah.
I might want that. I'm afraid of what he might be allergic to. It might be Florida because he's from Nevada,
lot
you know, so out west. And, you know, I find that a lot too with horses that come from other states. It's much worse,
especially if it's a drier state like out west or up north or whatever.
He's a Nevada Mustang, so. Skin issues, itchiness, and all of that, definitely something we face here in Florida summer, but you can reach out to Peterson Smith Equine Hospital and Complete Care. You might get Dr. Adam Cayot. Come take care of you. Louisa Barton for the Horse Talk Show. Switching it up to letting you experience what it's like to be appreciated by Larson Hay, so you can look out for the next Customer Appreciation Days. Brought to you by the Equine Initiative, presented by Piranha, the Horse Talk Show, and Larson Hay. That's a wrap on Larson Hay's Customer Appreciation Days on February 21st and 22nd. Both locations were bustling with incredible deals, great people, and plenty of delicious treats. To show their appreciation, Larson Hay offered $50 off per ton on a variety of premium hay, including full and half pasture bales, as well as 2-string and 3-string bales also. And while customers stocked up on Idaho's finest, Larson Hay made sure everyone was well taken care of with a spread of snacks and beverages from popcorn and chips to candy, baked goods, and more. There's nothing better than being appreciated.
So, Keeley has a dairy farm, and what kind of cattle do you milk?
We do miniature jerseys. We have the biggest herd of miniature jerseys in the world right now, and we export all over.
Wow.
In fact, we just had the first miniature jersey born in Saudi Arabia on a member of the royalties estate last month.
Oh my gosh, congratulations.
Thank you.
Now, how big is the miniature
They're
jersey?
about this big.
Oh, so they make it very nice for people that have a small area to keep their cattle.
They do. They're perfect for small homesteads.
And the milk?
The milk is delicious, and they'll make almost the milk a full-size will on a fraction of the feed.
Wow.
They're incredible, efficient little animals.
And the butter fat content?
It's very high.
Very high. It's a very...
Especially on this hay, they're beautiful yellow milk.
Oh, and she buys the 1,000-pound pasture bales. And you came today because?
Because you're having a customer appreciation sale, and a sale is good with the price of feed right now.
Yes, it is. And we appreciate you as a 10-year customer and taking advantage of that, knowing to come.
If you missed this event, don't worry. There's always more to come at Larson Hay. Stop by anytime during store hours to pick up Idaho's finest alfalfa and experience the quality for yourself from Larson Farms to your farms since 1883. Speaking of wonderful sponsors, Royal Blessing Rescue is one of our wonderful partners with the show, and I just want to do a quick shout out for them because one of their rescue minis had their foal, and it's a cute little boy, and it's the size of a small dog, and I've never seen a miniature horse that small. And they're trying to name it now, so actually belongs to Megan Vainosky. So she's trying to come up with a name. Maybe they've already come up with one, but they wanted a cute barn name and a show name. So exciting stuff, right? Congrats to all. We'll be back in just a few minutes with Misty Morning Hounds. Stay with us. Thank you to the presenting sponsor of the first half of the Horse Talk Show, Peterson Smith Equine Hospital and Complete Care. And our television broadcast sponsor is Larson Farms. Also, thank you to our supporting sponsors, DAC Vitamins and Minerals, Seminole Feed Stores, Piranha Animal Health, Pat Myers Electric, Florida HVAC Services, Ocala Dog Ranch, Wide Automotive, and Reach Video Production.
This show is brought to you in part by Seminole Feed Stores, family owned since 1934. Manufacturing fixed formula horse feeds with mindful monitoring and quality ingredients right here in Ocala in an all-natural, non-medicated feed mill. Seminole Feed, simply the world's best and safest feed. Like them on Facebook now or find them at SeminoleFeed.com.
Horses. Piranha! Oh no! Oh, the humanity! Oh, piranha.
Veteran-owned Wide Automotive, that's W-E-I-D-E, is a beacon of automotive excellence in Ocala. Founded on integrity and expertise with unwavering dedication in all operations, we seek to forge lasting relationships with our clients. Whether you have one vehicle or a fleet, we pledge our best effort in quality service. From repairs, diagnostics, tire repair and replacement, diesel engine work, horse trailers, car batteries, wheel alignments, fuel systems, and more. Discover more at wideautomotive.com.
Peterson and Smith Equine Hospital and Complete Care seeks to be a leading international veterinary practice that provides state-of-the-art veterinary care to their patients while fostering professional relationships with their clients that stand the test of time. For 24/7 and the best in equine care, check out Peterson and Smith at petersonsmith.com or like them on Facebook now for more information. The Horse Talk Show broadcasts from the CEP's Equine Studios in downtown Ocala in the horse capital.
Hey, this is Buck Brannaman. You're listening to the Horse Talk Show.
Back on the Horse Talk Show, presented by Peterson Smith Equine Hospital and Complete Care. Thank you to Larson Farms. They're our television broadcast sponsor.
Idaho's finest alfalfa.
I'm Louisa Budge.
I'm Dancin Pete Rodda.
And we have some guests in the studio that have never joined us before. We're very, very excited to have you guys here from Misty Morning Hounds. We have Alexis, Katie, and Dana. Very nice to have you guys. Thank you for joining us.
Pleasure to be here.
I was pretty excited when you reached out to me because you actually reached out to me at a difficult time. You didn't know, of course, it was a very difficult time losing a parent, but what was kind of the neat part of that was my father used to follow me on the hunt, and you reached out, and I was delighted to hear from you because he he loved everything to do with foxes. Everything he collected was to do with foxes. And when you told me about Misty Morning Hounds, I was very excited. Of course, I've heard of it before. And actually, a long time ago, I think I may have even ridden with Debbie Bonenclark on one of them. I think it was a long time back that I did that. I think she lent me a horse and I went out. But I loved it. So tell us a little bit about Misty Morning Hounds and kind of the difference with a drag hunt than an actual fox hunt.
Okay. Well, with the drag hunt, we are not chasing live game. We have a lure that we soak in. Our scent is actually anisette liquor that you get at the liquor store. Hounds are trained to that. We've used in the past, in very early years, we used fox urine and coyote and all this, but it became hard to get, and it just was a nasty job to lay it. And so the anisette liquor...
Now it's a lot more fun, I bet.
We keep our foxes a whole lot longer.
So Dana lays a lot of the drag. She's our joint master, one of our joint masters, and so you can tell a little bit about how we lay it.
So we lay it a bunch of different ways, and we went through a whole lot of different drags that we have used. We used little leather pouches before. We used those like styrofoam duck dog buoys. Those worked out really good. Now we're using, actually, it's an old pants leg off my husband's jeans that we lay it with. And we lay it a whole lot of different ways. We've done golf carts before, four-wheelers before. Our main fox, her name is Stella, she lays it actually off of horseback. And that works out really good because she rides different horses. And the hounds are really smart, so they will figure out, like, if you're the only one laying it, they'll pick up on the fact that they can cheat and they can smell the golf cart, smell the four-wheeler, smell Stella's horse if she uses the same one multiple times. So as long as we mix it up, the game stays the same. But yeah, that's pretty much how it goes. We lay it, we pick it up for them. So it's not like we lay just a straight line. We pick it up, we do curves, we go over jumps, we go through water, anything to try to trick them.
So you're the fox.
A lot of the time, yeah. But basically that's the name of the game, is we try to do it the same way that a fox would run. We just don't have the fox involved. It's just us trying to outsmart the hounds, which is harder than you would think it is. And then at the end of it, since we're a drag pack, we actually have it's like a paper lunch bag that we put dog treats or like meat scraps, all dog safe little goodies in it, and the hounds get to the end of it and they rip it up like a piñata, so that we hang it from like a tree. And the thought process is the first hound will grab it, we tear a bunch of holes, we wet it, we make it nice and soft, so the first hound grabs it, disperses all over the place, and everyone gets a nice little nibble at it.
It's like being at a kid's birthday party.
Basically,
the piñata at the end of the party. There you go.
But that's basically how drag hunting works.
And so there's a meet, like you have a meet would have been in England back in the day. You have a meet at a certain location. Is it usually at the same location that you meet, or?
We hunt out of the kennels oftentimes, but we also have some other places that we hunt.
Nice.
One of our members has a very nice fixture over in Bronson. And we used to hunt on a lot of water management land, and we're reestablishing some of those properties now. The Ag Museum in St. Augustine, and
how exciting!
Yeah, so our drags, just to say, it's not just one drag. We'll do like 4 drags, and while when we get to the kill of our first drag, then there's like a break while they lay the next drag. And the drags run usually a mile or 2, sometimes more, depending on what fixture we're at.
Sounds fun.
So,
and then you go over jumps like you do when back in the day.
So explain all the categories, like the hunts master, and so tell us all the different.
Okay. Yeah. Kate.
So I am our huntsman, so I am in charge of hunting the hounds. I stay with the pack. I help them if they're at a loss. Dana, Alexis, and Alexis's husband are our joint masters, so they are in charge of the hunt
organization.
Yes. And then our other staff, we have whipper-ins. They're like my right hand. They help me. They assist me with the pack. I'll often send them to fence lines that I know need blocked, or if the hounds scatter or at a very bad loss, they can kind of help me get them back on course. And then we have our field masters who lead the different fields of riders.
How exciting. It's wonderful. And you even brought some tools along, I see.
did. I do want to mention that the fields are really just groups of riders, and we have first field, second field, third field. First field goes fast and furious, usually jumps a lot. There's ways around all of our jumps. So I just want to mention that there's a place for everybody. Second field goes walk, trot, and canter. All the jumps are by choice still, and you know, they just go at a slower pace. Third field is a hilltopper group, which they oftentimes go to different vantage points where they can watch the whole scene unfold of the hounds coming out of the woods, screaming, you know, and then the riders following them, jumping and everything. Usually walk, trot. And then we have tally-ho wagons, which are for spectators. So, you know,
like my dad used to follow me in the Land Rover.
Even if you don't ride, you know, you can still enjoy it. It's an absolute beautiful sport to watch. You know,
Amazing.
It's colorful. If you love hounds or dogs in general, horses, I mean, to me, it's the best of the horse.
So the horse talk show goes to the dogs, and now it goes to the dogs with the horses.
To the hounds.
Yeah, there you go.
Now we're going to the hounds. Neil, did you hear that? We're going to the hounds.
Yeah.
That's really exciting, and you've been doing this for 30 years.
Right, yeah. My husband and I are the founding masters of the club. We started in 1995. We got the remnants of a pack that was breaking up in Connecticut. We brought them down, then we made contact with various other clubs, you know, through the Masters Foxhounds Association, which is our governing board. And so we added to the pack, then we started breeding our own, and we have mainly American Foxhounds and some Pin Meridels in there.
I did read that the gene pool was very good.
Oh, yeah. I mean, our bloodlines, most of the hounds go back to George Washington.
That's what I read, yeah.
Yeah.
Wow.
I mean, our founding fathers were big-time fox hunters. They loved it. They it helped keep their horses fit for battle and themselves in shape for battle as well. Wonderful. And it was just a great, fun way to, you know, to keep all that together.
And you've got a couple of events coming up, don't you?
We do.
We do.
You've got a hunt ball, correct?
We do. So that is, our season actually concludes this weekend, March 15th. So our first event would be that morning. That's our closing meet hunt. That's where we'll have the big tally-ho wagons. We'll have all 3 fields running. The hounds will go out. And that's that morning. We start at 8:30. And then after that, we have a nice breakfast afterward. And then everybody comes back that night for the hunt ball, which is just a big fundraiser. We're going to have a band, we'll have dinner, we have a silent auction.
Dancing.
All kinds of things.
Yeah,
so those
the
are
Killer
2
Bees band.
Yeah. So those are the 2 main things that are coming up. And then we also have hunter paces every month. So if you check us out on Facebook or at our website, all that information.
So this is a winter sport.
Yes.
It always was.
No
we
summer.
were always freezing in England. It was amazing though.
Now that
piranha bags. Quickly, we have a minute left. Let's not forget. We have goodie bags for you guys.
Oh, okay.
You get all these wonderful goodies, the piranha goodies
Okay.
in here, and a coupon. All sorts of goodies. You get you get guest gift bags, and there's a condition to the brushes.
Thank you.
You have to take photos at fox hunts with them and tag us.
Okay, we'll do it.
We get gifts for you guys. Misty Morning Hounds. So
Yes.
find you online or on social media.
Yes.
And
we
get
do.
involved. We're definitely going to be there, aren't we?
Yes,
That'd
ma'am.
be
We
good.
are.
And then
We are.
if you guys want to stay connected with what we do, we also do a newsletter and we have a mailing list. So if you go to our website, there's a big button for that. It just says sign up for the mailing list, give me your email, and you'll know everything about what we're doing all year round.
It's awesome.
And even in the summer, even though we're not hunting, the hounds still go out of those kennels a number of times a week. You're welcome to join us for that. On foot, or sometimes we're in trucks that you can ride with us.
Thank you guys so much. We have to wrap up. Misty Morning Hounds, what amazing folks they are. Learn more. Check them out online. We'll be back in just a minute with the real Tommy Turner. Larson Farms is our TV broadcast sponsor. Larson Farms, Idaho's finest alfalfa.
This hour of the Horse Talk Show is presented by Palm Chevrolet in Ocala, where the entire team is committed to making your experience in sales and service hassle-free and easier than ever with no games or gimmicks. Come in and visit on Southwest College Road or online at palmchevrolet.com. A second-to-none experience with all the amenities. Palm Chevy, find new roads.
This show is brought to you in part by DAC Vitamins and Minerals of Florida. DAC, it makes a world of difference. The Equine Performance and Innovative Center, situated on 30 pristine acres in the horse capital of the world, is one of the finest and most complete conditioning and rehab centers for equines and canines in the nation, including an equine hyperbaric chamber, aqua pacer, water treadmill, cold water leg spa, equine swimming pool, Eurosizer, and more. Epic equine veterinarians specializing in rehab and conditioning. For more information, go to epcrehab.com or find them on social media.
Cut through the noise and distinguish your business with a custom vehicle wrap from Smash Wraps. Get noticed with eye-catching vehicle wraps that showcase your brand's identity and earn you more business. If you're looking for a custom-designed vinyl wrap for horse trailers, box trucks, cars, or pickup trucks, for a single fleet vehicle, or for 100, no job is too big for the Smash Wraps team. Make your appointment to set your business apart today. Find us on social media or at smashwraps.com. And remember, don't just wrap it, smash wrap it.
This show was brought to you in part by TT Distributors, dedicated to bringing their customers the largest selection of quality horse supplements, products, and farrier supplies in Florida at affordable prices. Also online at ttdistributors.com.
Welcome back to the Horse Talk Show. Have you ever heard of a horse that can talk? Listen to this. With your host, Louisa Barton. She's literally in love with every horse. Presented by Palm Chevrolet, your hometown Chevy experience. She's back in the saddle again. And now here's your host,
Pretty.
Louisa Barton. She's a Brit, she's got the gift of the gab, and her guests are fab.
The Horse Talk Show broadcasts from the CEP's Equine Studios in downtown Ocala in the horse capital.
I'm Tick Maynard, and you're listening to the Horse Talk Show.
Back on the second half of the Horse Talk Show, presented by Palm Chevrolet, your hometown Chevy experience. Thank you to Larson Farms, our television broadcast sponsor.
Idaho's finest alfalfa.
I'm Louisa Barton.
I'm Dancin Pete Rodda.
And we've got the goat. You're the goat.
Tommy the Fence Turner.
The only fencing guy you need.
Equifence.
Goat. What does that stand for again?
Greatest of all time. They don't have that in England.
Because nobody's greatest of all time for me.
Yeah, we don't have people.
I'm a little upset though.
Why?
So I found these, and you've never offered me one of your pens before.
I'm sorry.
These are
Would
really
you
nice
like
pens.
a pen? Or handful of pens? You can have a handful of pens.
I appreciate it. These are really nice pens.
They are nice pens,
They
aren't
are.
they? See?
You should come by and get one.
Yes, come on, get one. Tommy will have a handful, I promise.
I will. Come see me.
So, what's up with you? We're going to hear about new fencing ideas. And listen, I just want to say, he doesn't just fence it. He actually makes it look really pretty as well, and we can prove it. If you're watching us on television, you can see all kinds of amazing drone footage.
We have a new commercial?
Yes.
That's pretty awesome.
I know.
It looks really good.
It's pretty nice. So it's not just about, really to start at the beginning, because there's a few things I want to talk about.
This farm in particular right here.
And look at that, the shapes. I mean, it's like all done so it looks beautiful.
Symmetrical.
Yeah, so you're flying over it and you're like, oh, look at that symmetrical fencing.
Exactly, because that's the first thing that comes to everybody's mind.
That's it.
How symmetrical.
But it isn't just about putting up the fence and making it safe and secure. It's also about, and especially here in Ocala, the horse capital of the world, where properties are extremely valuable now, especially equine-related properties. You don't want someone to come in there and just put a fence any old way. You obviously want it to be aesthetically pleasing.
No, and we work with a great team with the Equine Design and Development Collective.
Do you have trouble with that one too?
I
fall over that.
I do, and my speech impediment kills me, and I really push through that one to get.
I know, it's not easy. So Sean Wardley, great guy.
Yeah, so
top rider.
You know, we work hand in hand on these, and really spend the time to lay out design, make sure that they're going to function correctly, gate placement. Make sure that just everything works and flows nice, controls traffic. You know, if you don't want people walking through one part of your farm, you want them to go one direction. You know, we make sure the paddocks lay out in that way so everything flows throughout the entire farm.
Yeah, because the worst thing is if it's not designed right, and then when you start trying to get in and out, everything doesn't work.
Trying to work out of a poorly designed farm is probably one of the worst things to do.
And you've been a horse guy forever.
Yeah,
I mean, you've moved horses, transported
Sure, yeah,
horses, ridden horses, done it all, right?
Yeah, almost all of it.
Yes.
Not fox hunted.
You hadn't. Well, hey, we can fix that. I know some people now. We can sort that out for you. You know that.
Hey, you know what?
Tommy Turner fox hunts for the first time.
I'm in.
Oh God.
Okay, we are a G-rated show.
Lady, calm down. I had nothing to do with that.
So you shared a photograph with me the other day of something I'd never seen before, and you said this is Forever Fence.
Forever Fence. So a new product that we're really trying to get in the area. It's a fiberglass fencing system that is similar to what you see out west with the pipe and rail and the steel fencing, but it's all fiberglass. There's no rot. The paint has a 20-year warranty with it. Can't break it. I've tried.
You've tested it.
I've tried.
Mm-hmm.
And if somebody can break something, I'm
You
pretty
can
good
do
at
it,
it.
yeah.
Yeah.
I would agree.
Overachiever.
Uh-huh.
And when you say try, you used equipment, not just your hands and a hammer.
Absolutely. No, I put a 12,000-pound skid steer on it with a post driver up against a rock to try and shatter a post. And it's hard to explain, but it just rolled the edge of the post. And I took my pocket knife and just shaved it off and cleaned it up like it never happened.
Wow.
It's pretty incredible product.
And you talked about safety with it too.
Yeah, the safety aspect of it is endless. You never have to fix a board again. You don't have to worry about a horse running into it, hurting themselves, getting caught on a nail. It's smooth. Everything's round. There's no edges, no splintering.
So you kind of avoid all of those hazards that we all
of it
worry about.
You can wake up in the morning, drink a cup of coffee, look out the window and go,
I've got Forever Fence. Yes.
There's not one board I have to change today.
I like the Forever.
No, it's great.
It's a good word.
Yeah.
Now, talk to me a little bit too about land clearing and such, because some people are buying places that need some clearing before they even can start, and that's becoming more now as more people are moving here and wanting properties. They're buying up things that need clearing.
And in the agricultural fencing side of this, there's always property lines that got to be cleared. So we went ahead and we started, which we're not the only ones doing it, but we went ahead and added a land clearing site development portion of Equifence, and we're getting rolling in that. It's going pretty good. We're getting a lot of calls on it.
You're turning into a big equipment customer, aren't you?
Can we say the
yes, you can. Go for it.
I think I'm pretty much Ag Pro's #1 customer right now. I know I was last year. I'm not sure about this year, but I'm working on it.
You're working on it. You're on a roll.
I am, yeah.
It's hard. There's a lot to keep up with here.
It's a lot to keep up with, yeah. It definitely is.
You had to add an assistant recently because you were you were juggling.
Yeah, we've
a bigger truck,
office staff,
more tires.
More tires. We just acquired a 23-yard dump trailer. So
You've got the work going on. What do you think the biggest challenge is for people when they first? Is it the setup where everything's going to be? Is that the biggest challenge? Do you think when somebody starts with basically just a blank canvas?
Have the blank canvas, it's hard for. And I think we all know this when you're invested in it and you're looking at your own place and you just get so overwhelmed on this piece of property that you've seen so many, and then you start trying to think of how you're going to do it. And the Equine Design Development Collective, that's really where that comes into play. It kind of takes that out of your hands with your control, but we can provide the insight and the experience of doing so many farms that we can say, okay, come in and say, hey, listen, what is your goal? What are you going to try and do with this place? And just kind of take it.
And why are you putting this paddock there? Like, it should be over here.
Exactly.
And Sean Wardley, top show jumper, is also Wardley Martin arenas, and you can also fence arenas.
We do arenas, absolutely, yeah.
Yeah, because I saw you putting the bottom board in, and some of that footage where you're putting the bottom board to keep the arena.
Round pens, arenas. We just did a 2,300 linear foot walk track
And I don't know if I'm allowed to mention your partner that paints. You also have somebody that knows how to get the paint done after it's up.
Yep, absolutely.
Paint the fences. Yeah, wonderful. Tommy, thank you so much for being with us. Forever Fence, land clearing, you name it, you do it. Top customer service, caring about the design of someone's property, making it worth more money and aesthetically
And he's a
pleasing.
good guy too.
And we like him. Tommy Turner, Equifence. You can find them. Yes, you can find them on online on their website, and you can also find them on social media and see lots of examples of fencing. You get a goodie bag. You know your daughter will love it.
Oh, she's going to absolutely love it.
Oh, we got a brush for her too.
And a pen.
And a pen. Several. Several.
Oh, I'm getting several pens?
Several pens. Coming right back with Megan from MV Equestrian.
Treated like royalty.
Stay with us on the Horse Talk Show, and I have a feeling that your daughter will have this at some barrel racing events.
Oh, absolutely.
I'm sure. Stay with us. Thank you to the presenting sponsor of the second half of the Horse Talk Show, Palm Chevrolet. And our television broadcast sponsor is Larson Farms. Thank you also to our supporting sponsors, Equine Performance Innovative Center, TT Distributors, Equifence of Florida, the Florida Horse Park, Smash Wraps, The Green Pharmacist, Horse Vans, Royal Blessing Rescue, and MV Equestrian LLC.
This show is brought to you in part by Seminole Feed Stores. Seminole Feed, simply the world's best and safest feed.
Piranha! Oh no! Oh, the humanity! Oh, piranha.
Equine Therapy International offers state-of-the-art equipment to enhance your horse's performance, fitness, strength, and rehabilitation with hand-picked and proven range of products, including PEMF and massage therapy rugs, leg wraps, boots, pads, and lasers, equine water treadmills, cold salt water spas, combi floors, dry treadmills, solariums, nebulizers, and more. For more information, go to equinetherapyint.com or find them on social media. Repair, perform, and recover with Equine Therapy International.
My name is Dr. Natalie Solomon. I formulated Equigreen with cutting-edge science and technology alongside the passion that is represented by a lifelong love of horses. I created a product that I would trust for my horses because they deserve nothing but the best for their bodies. Horses rely on us to take care of them, to love them, to respect them. This is how Equigreen came to life. Equigreen, CBD for your horse that you can trust.
The Horse Talk Show broadcasts from the CEP's Equine Studios in downtown Ocala in the horse capital.
This is Charlotte Cannon, and you are listening to the Horse Talk Show.
This is Show Jumping 101 with Megan Vainosky with MV Equestrian Ocala.
Louisa Barton here for the Horse Talk Show and the CEP's Equine Initiative. We're trying to keep you as educated as we can. And obviously annually, every year, we do an Equine Industry Expo, which Megan from MV Equestrian is part of. And part of that is learning about the industry. We really encourage young folks in this next generation to get involved, and we call it from mucking to media. You know, we have people who learn about horses because they're photographers or videographers, and then we have people who learn about horses because they want to be actually within the industry working with that four-legged animal. And we just feel like, first of all, we certainly don't want to put you off being a trainer because it comes with massive rewards and huge endorphins when you see students succeed and horses succeed, or when you buy a horse and resell it and it's just a wonderful, gone to a wonderful home and it's learned everything you want it to learn. There's so much good. Yeah. Right?
Yes,
I mean, and I want to preface it with so much good because we do want to encourage people, but we also want to be realistic with, hey, if you know what the challenges are, you know, and it makes me think of Tick Maynard, who wrote a book.
Yes.
And he put all the challenges of upcoming, you know, through the ranks and what it's like and what you have to deal with. And we love people, but we do have challenges with people, sometimes more so than the horses, right?
Yes, absolutely.
So let's talk about some of the great things. Obviously, you've had some wonderful rewards in your career so far.
Yeah, absolutely.
And then share with us some things that realistically that you do have to face taking on a career being a trainer.
Yeah, I mean, touching on what you said, being able to network and connect with people, like she said, we love people, we really do. We wouldn't be in this industry if we didn't have some sort of love and appreciation for humans. But
with that being said, you still have to deal with a lot of different personalities, and there are going to be times where person A and you do not get along, and that's okay. You just being able to
recognize it.
Yeah, recognize who isn't exactly vibing with you. Even if you're still working with that person, you just need to learn to work with them, not against them. That's going to bite you in the rear. This is a huge industry, yet a small industry, so putting your back against everybody and it's just me against the world is not exactly the way that you should be doing it. I did that when I started out, and it becomes lonely really fast, and you realize that you can't do this alone. It's really hard. You need to have a solid group of people behind you, a solid support system that is not only going to hold you accountable for your faults and things that you're not doing correctly or things that you need to be educated more on, but somebody who's going to keep you going, keep you lifted instead of dragging you down. Excuse me. You know, horse trainers, we are not like plumbers. We are not a necessity. This is a luxury career. So right off rip, you need to be thankful that you can do that you can even think about doing a career that's a luxury, because here in Marion County, we are Starbucks. There's a horse trainer on every corner. We're everywhere. There's not a short of us. So that's another thing you need to think about when you're starting is, hey, where am I at? My demographics. I'm in Marion County. There's 80 bajillion of us in a 5-mile radius. So being able to bring something different to the table is something that you want to think about. So for instance, I'm an old vet tech, old sport medicine tech. I have a lot of certifications in the sport medicine and rehab industry. And that in itself helps me with the young horses developing, rehabbing a lot of horses. I get a lot of horses that, they've popped a splint or they need some sort of rehab. I have the education and the tools to do that, whereas a lot of other places might not have those tools and education, but will still say, hey, I can do this.
Yeah, and I like that about you, because there was a day you came actually to ride my horse, Flynn, and you actually decided not to because you noticed something was a little off, and you let me know he was a little off, and I drove out here to look at him because I knew I'd have a better day if I looked at him and made sure he was okay, and we even gave him a little Banamine and just to make sure, and whatever it was passed, fortunately. But Anne had noticed he was slightly off his food as well for a couple of days, so there probably was a little bit of something starting, but you picked up on that very quickly. And if you have that background, I think that really helps. And it makes me more comfortable knowing if he's a little off, you're not going to ride him. You're going to look at him and let me know, something's not quite right.
Yeah, and
that matters.
Yeah, and going back to our grooming segment is, if you don't groom your horse, you're not looking at your horse. And I feel like grooming is the ultimate prep opportunity for you to look your horse over in their mouth, in their ears. Yeah, you can see every nick and cranny on your horse, and that allows you to make those decisions and go, hey, that was here yesterday, that wasn't here yesterday. Or
could be as simple as a tick behind their ear, or anything, a little cut somewhere.
Or like for me, I can feel tightness in their legs because of my experience and education in the sport medicine field. I can put my hand on a horse's legs and go, I feel a lot of heat.
And you
I
did
feel
that day with Flynn.
You
were
feel
like,
that he's tight. I can feel little things like that, and that's really important as a horse owner. You need to understand what your horse's normal is, so when they're abnormal, you're like,
good to know what their vitals are usually, what their heart rate is usually, all those things. And very good to have a thermometer on hand as well, so you can even check their temperature. All those sorts of things are really important. So that background gives you kind of a little bit of an edge. And now for me, something that really gives you an edge over anybody else I would want riding Flynn is the way you love horses. So I see Flynn, I mentioned it in my riding segment with you when I had my first lesson in 30 years. And I must have been like 6, by the way, last time I had a lesson. Just kidding. But seriously, seeing you love my horse, seeing you give him a treat, and you don't over-treat, but you do let him have a treat when he's done a good job. Afterwards he's done a good job, he gets a treat. You love him, you clearly love him, and he clearly loves you. So that gives you an edge over any other trainer that would be riding Flynn for me, because I want my horse to carry on with the same personality he's always had with me.
Yeah.
So you've got to make sure you're on the same wavelength as the owner, because the owner
Absolutely.
wants you to kind of mirror them in behavior and treatment, because they don't want a different horse back at the end. Now, they might want a different horse, obviously, if there's a problem,
on why it's
but
coming.
I didn't have a problem.
Yeah.
So I didn't want a different horse. I wanted
Absolutely.
him to learn other disciplines, which you've done beautifully. I wanted him to be as versatile as possible.
Yeah.
Because, you know, nobody's promised tomorrow, and everybody wants to think that their animal would have a good place in life if they weren't here anymore. And so I feel like getting a horse as rounded as possible helps that horse have a future career either with you or somebody else.
Yeah.
And so that's important. And then the other one thing I think I would really overemphasize is ethics.
Yeah.
And that is, you have to be ethically on the same level. If your owner of the horse you're training wants something that to you is unethical, then obviously you're not the right trainer.
Yeah, absolutely. I've turned plenty of people down. I'm again, sport medicine, rehab. I am well aware on how horses grow, what the last part of their body is to grow, which if you're not aware is their spine. So when I have people wanting me to get on their 3-year-old and jump it, I'm not going to do that. And I'm very upfront with that. I will not do that. That's something I won't compromise. I will 1000% work with your horse, groundwork. I will not sit on it. I might sit on it to get a sale video. You know, some people, excuse me, just want to see that I can get on this 3-year-old and it's not going to take off with me and do anything naughty. I totally get that. But I don't consecutively or consistently get on a horse until it's pushing 4.5. You know, 4, I'll start.
So really, Flynn is just almost 5.
Yeah,
He's perfect.
He's
just
right
at
at
the right
perfect
age
age.
to start.
Yeah, absolutely. And
Yeah.
that's one thing that at first I found myself kind of wanting to falter on, because those were the only people that I were getting. And I'm glad I didn't. Hold your ground. Do not
stick with your principles.
Yeah, do not falter in who you are. Again, there's a million of us out here. There's somebody else that will take that horse and do whatever with it. And God forbid anything happens, that's something that you don't have to worry about, because that's not something that you partook in. So that's a big thing for me. And the biggest thing for me, and that's what I'm like, my current struggle bus is right now, is I didn't come from money. I didn't have $100,000 just sitting aside. So when I started this business, I could just go buy a big, beautiful facility, concrete barn, and all of this. You need to make sure you have time for yourself.
Yes.
That's the biggest thing. Have time for yourself, because if you can't have a day, then your horses aren't going to have a good day.
That makes sense. Make time for yourself. I need that lesson too. Get rested up. Louisa Barton here with Megan from MV Equestrian. Thank you to the presenting sponsor of the second half of the Horse Talk show, Palm Chevrolet. And our television broadcast sponsor is Larson Farms. Thank you also to our supporting sponsors, Equine Performance Innovative Center, TT Distributors, Equifence of Florida, the Florida Horse Park, Smash Wraps, The Green Pharmacist, Horse Vans, Royal Blessing Rescue, and MV Equestrian LLC. Ocala Dog Ranch offers a variety of services for your dog, including agility training, barn hunt training, board and train, boarding long and short term, daycare, day training, dock diving training and competitions, disc dog, swimming lessons and pool rentals, lure coursing and obedience training classes. Check out Ocala Dog Ranch at ocaladogranch.com. Ocala Dog Ranch is your home away from home for your dog and more.
This show was brought to you in part by TT Distributors, also online at ttdistributors.com.
Epic Equine Veterinarians specializing in rehab and conditioning.
This hour of the Horse Talk Show is presented by Palm Chevrolet in Ocala. Palm Chevy, find new roads.
Royal Blessing Rescue and Farm's mission is to ensure equines recover, restore, and thrive in a peaceful and safe environment, rescuing, rehabilitating, and rehoming animals, while also encouraging equine education for all those who visit or volunteer. With homeschool class sessions, a great lesson program, a special needs program, and summer camps, Royal Blessing welcomes all. Home to breeds from miniatures to draft crosses, chickens, ducks, bunnies, peacocks, goats, and dogs, Royal Blessing provides all the nutrition and love they need. To discover more, to donate, volunteer, or participate, find Royal Blessing Rescue on Facebook.
The Pat Myers Electric team is ready to jump in and help keep your horses safe for all your current barn needs.
The Horse Talk Show broadcasts from the CEP's Equine Studios in downtown Ocala in the horse capital.
Hello, I'm Chris Cox, and you're listening to the Horse Talk Show.
Back on the final segment of the Horse Talk Show for this week, presented by Palm Chevrolet, your hometown Chevy experience. Thank you to Larson Farms, our television broadcast sponsor.
Idaho's finest alfalfa.
I'm Louisa Barton.
I'm Dancin Pete Rodda.
And that's the fence guy, Tommy the Fence Turner, who's been with us from Equifence. And we're now switching it up to Pete's Tip of the Week.
Dancin Pete's Tip of the Week, brought to you by Complementary Horsemanship. This tip is sponsored by WildlifeWorksLLC.com for your unwanted wild critters removal. All right, the tip of the week. And this one's for Louisa.
Oh.
This is from Glenn Stewart's book. The pathway to more comfort is through discomfort. The pathway to less struggle is through struggle. The pathway to less challenge is through challenge.
I should be good then.
You should be good.
I should have all that covered. I should be great. So what you're trying to say, it's got to be bad before it's good?
No, I'm just saying.
The path of least resistance is not your forte.
Yeah.
Got it.
That's not what I said, but okay.
But yeah, that's pretty much it, actually, because I'd love to have some least resistance, but I don't seem to. So anyway. Yeah, okay. So I'm good.
The Horse Talk Show goes to the dogs, so here's Neil from Ocala Dog Ranch.
Yep. The Horse Talk Show goes to the dogs at Ocala Dog Ranch.
Neil Hennessy, the owner of Ocala Dog Ranch. Leash your dog. It's really cool when you have your dog walking beside you, but you can't control the environment. So if it's not a safe environment where things could happen and go wrong, put your dog on a leash. Some states or cities, it's the law, and also, you don't want your dog getting into a dog fight because there's another loose dog and your dog is approached by the dog and they end up getting into a little bit of a tiff. Put them on a leash. Respect other people's dogs, and enjoy your dog when you take them for a walk. Neil Hennessy, the Ocala Dog Ranch.
That's a good reminder for you to have a leash for your dog for Live Oak International when you go visit Neil, who will be there. So very exciting. United Way did an absolutely amazing job with their inaugural Children's Charity Classic. So we're going to recap it for you right here. Brought to you by the Equine Initiative, presented by Piranha, The Horse Talk Show, and Larson Hay. The inaugural Children's Charity Classic at Hits Ocala on Friday, February 21st, was an absolute hit, selling out completely. The event, hosted by United Way of Marion County, featured a Grand Prix proudly sponsored by HCA Florida Ocala Hospital. This was a shining example of how the equestrian world and the local community can come together for such a great cause. The competition featured 10 teams, each made up of a professional, amateur and junior rider, all representing a children's non-profit and a children's book and the characters they were assigned. And the excitement didn't stop there. In the VIP tent, guests had the chance to fundraise even more by bidding on incredible trips to places like Nashville, Greece, and many more amazing destinations. Outside the arena, vendors and food trucks kept the energy going, all contributing to the cause of supporting children in need. After an exciting night of show jumping, scores were tallied and winners were announced, with each team receiving a share of the incredible $100,000 donation pool.
With the money that you're getting from this event, how is that going to impact your organization?
We are going to use the money that we raised tonight to increase our therapeutic programs for kids, so individual support for the children, whether it's counseling or we do support groups, movement groups where they learn regulation skills and relational skills and creative arts and just anything therapeutic for the kids who are healing from trauma.
This ensured that every non-profit involved came out a winner. It was a fantastic evening filled with competition, community and generosity, and organisers can't wait to make it even bigger next year. Thank you to all the sponsors involved, and a heartfelt and sincere thank you to United Way of Marion County. Hey, it was a wonderful way to raise $100,000 for 10 children's charities. Amazing. Well done, United Way. We're excited about next year's discussion over fence and railings here going on while that was.
I mean, who's on first? That's what we were doing.
What?
What?
No, what's on second?
Hey, we're not doing a Pat Myers electric tip this week because we have something to share from the Chamber's annual luncheon, which was attended by over 1,200 people. And Pat Myers was one of the people that Tom James interviewed, and we like what Pat Myers had to say, so we're going to share it with you.
And then the CEP comes in with the Equine initiative and just blows it out of the water for us and helps us sharpen the tools that we already have and introducing us to all the new, the different disciplines and the different breeds and how to interact with the horse community. And the Equine initiative has been amazing to us, and it's very welcoming. We've formed some really lifelong bonds there. Louise Barton's amazing. I just place in her heart.
Well, thank you for being involved and engaged with that.
So thank you, Pat Myers Electric, for that wonderful shout out. We are the only chamber in the world that has an equine initiative that we know of like this, that meets every month, that introduces all generations to horses and gives them an opportunity to learn about everything from different disciplines, different breeds. We introduce children to horses. We allow them to do all sorts of different activities like hobby horse equestrian games and equine industry career expos. And through the agreement that we have with Marion County Public Schools, we really feel like that is a serious legacy for those children coming up who do not necessarily have an opportunity to be around horses. So we like to make that possible. We think that's important because guys like you want to help people learn about horses and the foundation and training, and
yes,
guys like you want to put fences on farms. And it's kind of important to have people that are growing up that want to be in the equine industry, and we just want to introduce them to everything from the hounds to the Budweiser Clydesdales and everything in between. And this is just a great way to do it. So Pat Myers said it beautifully at the annual luncheon. He said that the Equine Initiative just blew everything out of the water. And I feel like if you're a business out there...
Luis is amazing. I thought that's what you were going to say.
I'm not saying that. He said that.
Okay, good.
And I thank him very much for that compliment. But really, seriously, if you're a business out there, if you're equine related or not, and you're not a chamber partner, you should become one, because there's about 1,400 or 1,500 of them, and they're definitely benefiting from. It's a lot like the gym, you know. If you don't come, it doesn't work nearly as well. But we love.
But you're paying for the lights to be on.
That's right. But we love for you to get engaged and involved and join us. If you'd like to find out more, my email address is Louisa that's Louisa at ocalacep.com, and you can shoot me an email and I'll be able to send you the information out. We'd love to have you on board as a partner.
Whoa.
Yeah.
We're going to talk about the gala.
Oh, yes. I want to hear all about what you did.
We raised...
So hold on.
Sorry.
For several weeks, we mentioned on air that they were having an amazing Veterans Gala to fundraise to get these veterans out fishing and doing wonderful activities to help eliminate PTSD.
We had helped raise $102,000 for the veterans to go towards going fishing, the boats, everything. It was unbelievable. The stories were heartbreaking.
Aww.
And it was just a community coming together.
And it's annual.
And it's annual.
So you can be involved next year.
It's going to be a speakeasy next year.
Really? And well done on helping raise that.
Yes, ma'am.
I'm proud of you. Do a really good job at that. Excellent job. So we got to wrap it up. We're done with the show. Thank you so much for being with us this week. Whether you're in Ocala, Marion County, the horse capital of the world,
or not, happy horsing around.
Till the same time next week.